It's frustrating because you're sold all these things you have to do to lose weight quick and all that, when really this should be a slow and steady change. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into GTE Health and Fitness. GTE stands for Gaining the Edge. Our goal here with this new channel is to bring you health, wellness, and fitness content with the beginner in mind. There's a lot of great information out there, a lot of good information for beginners out there, but I feel like there's just so much noise out there, and it's hard to decipher what you should be doing as a beginner and what you should be doing at intermediate, advanced. I wanted to bring you information for beginners from a beginner or from somebody who's been through it. Yeah, obviously I'm not the most fit guy. I don't have a six-pack. I don't have all the stuff, but what I do have is the experience of living it. I was 322 pounds when I started my fitness journey. I'm down about 50 pounds. And honestly, I want to catalog my ongoing process, but also start providing information I learn along the way, things that helped me in hopes of helping you. Through NASM, I'm currently trying to obtain my CPT, which is my Certified Personal Training Certificate. Also, I have nutritional coaching and online coaching. Although those certifications don't make me an expert and aren't necessarily a necessity, I wanted to gain a foundation of knowledge. I felt this class and these courses were the best way for me to do that. And the goal is to actually take this information and pass it forward, as in not word for word, obviously, but take what I learned and use it to help others. So as somebody who's going through their own journey, as somebody who has lived it, so to speak, and is currently living it, I have this experience and I know how you feel, especially as a beginner who's having a hard time sticking to a plan, having a hard time getting over that hump and getting to it. I want to help those people because I understand how difficult it is to be there. This is going to be geared towards beginners. The goal here is to help those with limited knowledge or none and help them get going in their own fitness journeys. So now that you got a chance to understand where I'm coming from, where I'm going and what I'm trying to do, and how I will be cataloging some of my own experiences along the way, but I also wanted to give you a few tidbits of information that you could take away from this video today that can help you possibly get started. So again, this is a lot of this right here I'm about to talk on is based on my own experiences. These are things I did to help me get started in my journey and help me sustain some success throughout the last 100+ days that I've been doing this. Something I found beyond useful and helpful was tracking my calories. Now, I understand tracking your calories isn't for everybody, but what it did for me was give me a baseline of what food actually was in terms of calories, because in order to burn a pound a week, you have to burn about 3,500 calories. So you have to be in a calorie deficit of about 3,500 calories in a week. So it's about 500 calories a day. It sounds like a lot, but when you realize how many calories are in food, it's really not that much. And especially once you start tracking and realize how many calories you're putting into your body, it makes it a little easier to be like, all right, I'm going to cut this out, cut a few things out incrementally. You don't have to go crazy balls to the wall. We'll get to it later about fad dieting. It's frustrating because you're sold all these things you have to do to lose weight quick and all that, when really this should be a slow and steady change of a lifestyle altogether. So tracking calories was just really beneficial in that fact, where I was able to kind of realize, oh, I thought I wasn't overeating, when I realized, oh, I was overeating. Even something as simple as like, okay, I worked out today, I'm going to go have a snack. And I realized that snack pretty much wiped out the workout. And then I would go into a calorie surplus. But you might ask yourself, how do I know if I'm in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit? Now, calculators online, there's plenty available. They're rather inaccurate. However, what you need to do, it takes about a week or two. And I know, again, it goes back to wanting those results quick. You plug your statistics into these calculators, it spits out a number. You're going to have to try that number out for about a week or two, honestly. And from there, you'll be able to see, are you losing weight steadily? Are you gaining weight? Are you staying the same? And from there, you adjust. You figure out your own number based on the results you're getting by following that first number. Doing the extremes are unnecessary. And I feel like we are sold like you need to be on this weight loss pill. You need to do this. You need to do this trend. You need to do this workout. You really got to do what works for you. And that goes into my next tip of find something you enjoy doing. Find cardio you enjoy, walking, weightlifting. I fell in love with weightlifting. I've been weight training 5 to 6 days a week now for a few months. This was after I started, 3 to 4 days a week. I built myself up, but I fell in love with weight training. I live by weight training. I think it's the way to go. It's helped me. It's huge. It's hard to explain the benefits. That's going to have to be its own video in terms of what I've physically felt, the differences of before and after weight training and before and after getting into a healthier mindset and lifestyle. But yes, number 2 is find something you really enjoy doing. It's all about enjoying the process. Hiking, bicycling, Little things. If you can find one thing you really enjoy doing, the fitness journey is way easier because now you're burning calories and doing something you enjoy in the process. So like I said, you track your calories, you're becoming more active now because you're finding something you enjoy doing outdoors or indoors, doesn't matter. Boom. That process right there, you'll start seeing results sooner than later already. The third thing is, it kind of goes hand in hand with number two, is just move more. But what I mean by that isn't just like, oh, obviously work out. Find ways to move more. Find ways to be more active. Park farther away in the parking lot. Walk farther to your job. Walk up, take the stairs instead of the elevator. These are things I'm sure you've heard before, but these are things that are shown to work because you have your NEAT. And what NEAT is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Sorry, I couldn't get that out right without stumbling, so I've had to edit it like 13 times. Let's move on. What that is basically you're increasing that, and all that is that's your measurement of walking, your stair climbing, the extra stuff, the movements, the talking with your hands. Talking with your hands, I'm burning calories. So simple things as moving more, finding ways to be more active around the house. Oh, you got laundry to do? Cool. Stand up while you're folding it. Keep yourself up and about, and that alone will be a huge benefit to you. So number 4 is going to be, don't fall for the fad crash diet stuff, like fads, diet / crash dieting. It might work in the short term. There's no denying that. You're going to know people that lost 30 pounds on the keto diet, that lost 50 pounds becoming a vegan. They are the exception to the rule, not the rule itself. There's a reason why a majority of diets fail. It's because people go from one lifestyle to drastically changing it to an unsustainable lifestyle. I can't tell you how many times I failed at diets. There's a reason why I got up to 322 pounds. I was able to do a diet, I would fail it, rebound, and be worse. What I actively am doing and trying to do continuously is lifestyle changing. I'm trying to be a healthier person, period, and the rest is coming. So crash dieting and fad dieting, in my opinion, is a very, very quick way to fail. I don't see, there's no real, in my opinion, there's no sustainability in them. And I think the statistics back that up. When you see how majority of diets fail, it's because people are doing these diets. Now, if you do this diet and you enjoy it, that changes everything. The goal, again, it goes back to enjoying the process. If you find a diet that works for you and if it happens to be a fad diet, that is fine. But don't jump into a fad diet expecting results because you're changing your lifestyle drastically. So that goes into number 5 of make small incremental changes. And what I mean by that is slowly start substituting things. Remember, if you're starting to monitor your calories, you're starting to kind of get in that point where it's like, okay, what can I do to help cut calories? Change up your food sources, maybe not even change, add protein to your diet. Vegans and vegetarians, this is actually a little more difficult for you. There's plenty of protein sources, but you need to eat more protein because the quality of protein is actually different. That doesn't mean you can't be a vegan and vegetarian, be healthy and eat plenty of protein. You just got to eat a little more. And not only does protein keep you fuller for longer, but what it does is actually causes your body to burn more calories to digest and absorb it, actually. It's all around a better process for your body in terms of keeping you fuller longer and helping you burn more calories. It's a win-win. Again, it's all about finding out what works for you, and this is a process. People want instant results. I'm guilty of it too. I like having instant results. Unfortunately, it takes time. Unfortunately, it just takes time to figure it all out, and you gotta listen to your body. And patience is huge, and I know it's hard to have patience, but patience is huge. And if you can just be a little patient with yourself, I promise you, it's one of those, you'll look back, before you know, a month will pass, 2 months will pass. And I'm over here like, man, I'm so glad I started when I did. Cause it always used to be the mindset of, man, why didn't I start a year ago? Or why didn't I start last month? Why am I just now starting? Starting is the hardest. And yeah, it's easy to hold on to those like what ifs and the, man, this sucks. Why didn't I start sooner? Why didn't I? But it's better to be doing it regardless of like when you started. Yes, it sucks. Like you wanted it to be like, oh, I wish I did it sooner. And we all do. We all wish we did, especially people like us. And I'm saying us as in, I'm assuming who's watching feels this way or has felt this way, that you felt lost, you felt confused, you felt just so down on yourself because why is everybody else having success? Why can this person do it, not me? Everyone can do it. It just takes time, consistency, and patience. And it's hard. It's not an easy thing, especially when you find yourself, I don't know if addiction is a proper word for food. Food has been a way for a lot of people, including myself, to cope, to feel better. Like, oh, I'm going to go crush all this food after work. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm on my way home from work. Food was always a easy way to just kind of like take my mind off things. But then afterwards, I always felt like crap. And then of course they actually engineer, like fast food specifically, they engineer these foods that taste so good. It's hyper palatable foods. And these foods are also meant to make you crave stuff more and be ready for more sooner. So it actually increases your hunger, and they have people, these food companies spend so much money on scientists to do this. They even put as much effort as to create wrappers for the food that are more visually appealing. That's where it's frustrating. You're up against a challenge. You're up against scientists, essentially, especially when you've already dug yourself into these habits of eating certain types of foods. It is so difficult to get out of them. That goes into my next tip, habits. We need to form better habits. Again, it's all so easy to say, and it took me years to finally do it. I'm not perfect. I still, I'm not like eating a perfect diet. I had pizza yesterday. What I do is I take these, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I take these habits and I've had to reform them. Like if there was a place I would drive by on my way home from work, I would purposely take a different route to get home so I didn't have to get tempted by stopping here at this one place to eat. Or if I go to the store and I know I always bought this one thing, I would just not buy it, because if it's not in the house, I won't eat it. My kids, it helped, and it's helped with my kids too, because I have kids, my wife and all that. We buy better quality stuff as a whole. Now, don't get me wrong, we still buy gummies for my children. I eat the gummies on occasion. I had gummies yesterday too. So it's not like you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better. You just have to work at being a little better every day, and slow and steady, you'll get there. So habits, little things like that. That's one habit. Another habit is I purposely park farther in the parking lot and walk. I mentioned that before. I find ways to make myself be more active. Once I find, like, there's a couch behind me, there's my bed. Once I find this stuff and I get on YouTube and start binge watching stuff, I'm done. Like, it's so hard to get off, and it's addicting. And just like TikTok and all this stuff, it's all meant to keep you from doing anything else but being there. You're up against a lot of stuff here. It's not easy. And honestly, like, it's not, like, I used to think, oh, this is just excuses, but I've lived it and it sucks. Like, it's hard, and I still live it. Like, it's not like I'm suddenly, oh, I'm cured because I lost 50 pounds. No, I have another 50 pounds I want to lose. And it's hard. There's days where I want to give up. There's days where I don't want to continue. I'm tired. I take days off, but sometimes it's not enough. I'm physically tired and emotionally and drained, and you're going to feel that. That's normal. I don't want you to think, but that's not a reason to give up. That's the difference. I've given up in the past feeling that way. I'm like, oh, well, or if I have one bad day on my diet, instead of getting back the next day back onto it, I just like, oh, there goes that attempt. And then I binge for like a month. The little things like that, like, okay, cool, you have a bad day or you ate like crap for a day, get back on it next day. But here's the thing about dieting. So here goes one of the last tips I'm going to talk about here is you don't need to completely cut out everything. You just need to make small changes in your diet. What I mean, and I mentioned this before about the protein, but let's talk about cheat days. Let's talk about cheat meals. I don't subscribe to cheat meals, but you should subscribe to this channel since we're talking about subscribing. But I don't subscribe to cheat meals. I think cheat meals are wildly overrated, or not cheat meals, cheat days. I'm okay with cheat meals. I think like that goes back to my pizza and gummies. I had 3 pieces of pizza last night and a pack of gummies, and I didn't feel that great afterwards, but it helped hit that craving. It's been about a week or so. I have about one of these cheat meals a week. And what it does is I try to fit it within my calorie goal, because this way I'm able to still have the foods I like, my favorite foods, without gaining weight from it. And you can do that. You can eat, people have this idea that you have to eat super healthy in order to lose weight. You have to eat super healthy in order to do this, and that. And yes, you should be aiming to eat healthier, but you don't have to go so crazy right away, because again, that's how you're going to fail. You're going to fail. More than likely, I should say, you're going to fail. I don't want to sit there and project you're going to fail. But I didn't go super healthy right away, and I was able to fix my diet rather quickly because I realized there was a correlation with eating better, feeling better, working out, doing more. I felt better. It was just one of those things where I was like, wow, all this stuff really just makes you feel better. But at the end of the day, you don't have to cut out your favorite foods to lose weight. You just have to eat them less often, be more conscious of serving size. Just pay attention to how much you're eating, and I bet you'll be okay more times than not. And the last thing I'm going to talk about real quick, water intake. You don't have to like the taste of water. They make 0-calorie Mio, and we'll talk about 0-calorie drinks too as a whole. Diet soda is the issue. So I like diet sodas. I will drink them when I have a sweet tooth because they are 0-calorie. They fit every diet plan, right? The contents within a diet soda aren't the best in terms of like the ingredients, but what it does is it still allows you to have some of your favorite drinks without the calories. Now the issue is at least for me, I found them to make me more addicted to, like, I wanted to eat more sweets after I was done drinking one. I wanted to drink more, and I have to have a little more self-control when I do drink them. I still drink 0-calorie drinks. Diet Dr. Pepper's been my can of choice lately, my soda of choice. And I have to understand that as I drink these, they do make me crave it more. There's something about it that makes me crave eating sweets and crave drinking this drinks more. So I have consciously dialed back a little bit, and I think I'm gonna try to get back to cutting them out altogether. But they have been very helpful with the sweet tooth. So, and again, 0 calories. So, but real quick, back to water. A trick I do to help keep me fuller during meals is I'll drink a full cup of water before I eat. And what that does is it puts something in your stomach, and it helps you realize that like maybe you don't have to eat as much to fill up now because you already filled some of your stomach up. Also, when you think you're hungry, try drinking some water first. Speaking from experience, when I would snack or when I'd want a snack, sometimes I'd be like, why didn't that snack hit the spot? I eat another snack, and next thing you know, I'm eating 2 or 3 snacks. Oh, I was thirsty because I drank some water, and that feeling went away. So I'm like, huh. So now I make a point that, I feel hungry. Let me go drink some water first. And if I'm still hungry after I drink my water, then obviously I'm actually hungry. So that's going to do it. I appreciate any likes and subscriptions. If you please hit that like and subscribe button down below. We're aiming to do 1 video a week moving forward. This is the first video, so I hope these tips are helpful to you, and I hope you find some of this beneficial. And we'll talk again next week.